Hello, my name is David Buchanan, and this presentation is on strategies to help manage challenging behaviours in design technology. Contemporary research proves that an educator's innate ability to engage students with the subject matter immediately intensifies focus and span of attention. Excellent pedagogy inspires students to a high level of critical thinking, and implementing a student-centered practice to your subject delivery, you furnish them with exploration pathways and consequent increased understanding of the material to achieve improved outcomes. I may hear, that all sounds great, but what about my workshop class of Year 9s? Some are rude, obnoxious, lazy, and I spend more time dealing with inappropriate behaviour than actually teaching. This is a hypothetical example statement, but I have personally heard similar laments throughout my teaching practicums. Poor student behaviour places a large amount of pressure upon teachers, especially those untrained in successful behaviour management strategies, practicum students and new graduates. With student behaviour underpinned by so many educational, technological and social factors, dealing with challenging behaviour is a priority for all those working in education. Due to behaviour challenges in the classroom, it is imperative that teachers acquire problem-solving and behaviour management techniques. Perhaps no other topic in education receives greater attention or causes more concern for teachers and parents and students than classroom discipline. The lack of effective classroom discipline or behaviour management skills is a major stumbling block to a successful career in teaching. As a teacher, do you know your learners and their individual needs, or are you too busy to spend time delving deeper into the minds and backgrounds of your class list? Yes, this takes effort and dedication, but do you cater for all your learners or just teach to the middle of the bell curve? Challenging questions to ask oneself, but those few students concerning you most in that hypothetical Year 9 workshop class, do you actually know their strengths and weaknesses academically, their learning needs, their family situations, their friend groups, their sports and likes and dislikes? Have you attended a game of football in which the challenging students were playing to watch, connect and encourage them at a later date to better manage class behaviour and increase outcomes? Teachers must develop positive relationships, recognise a student's needs, modify their interactions and content delivery to suit these individual requirements, and afford the student respectful decision making and help them set attainable goals based on relevance to give them more focus in the classroom and stretch their brains. The common denominator and most important factor is the teacher, including their passion for holistically educating young people and caring relationships they foster in a professional framework. Adopt the 3 Bs. Be knowledgeable on content and student relationships. Be clear on expectations of behaviour, rules, goal setting and consequences, and be prepared by being explicit, have well thought out lessons with learning expectations and sense of urgency in what you want the students to achieve. The Responsible Thinking Behaviour Management Program is used throughout many secondary schools. This program has been recommended by users for any school, provided it is well supported. The program is based upon giving students choices immediately after their actions with 3 standard questions. What are you doing? What should you be doing? And what is going to happen if you continue? This must be a whole school approach and backed up by professionally trained staff operating a responsible thinking classroom. Students continuing unacceptable behaviour are directed to this room, progress through the system of positive guided reflection strategies to allow them to reflect on their actions away from their peers and teachers, to come up with more productive ways of integrating and achieving in class and at school in general. A respectful agreement between student and teacher is sought before coming back into their normal class. Whilst no program is perfect, the act of removing the disruptive student from the classroom immediately diffuses further confrontation and allows the class and teacher to continue with their learning. I've experienced with the program during my recent teaching practicum at a local secondary school, I found students who behaved inappropriately usually refocus after I asked the first two questions, and I never had to send an individual to the responsible thinking room during my time there. As a student teacher with minimal relationships formed, I found this program extremely empowering as I experienced difficulty with behaviour at my earlier practicum school. Without this whole school supported student behaviour program, I was able to concentrate on all the students in my lesson and not just a few challenging ones. So as a contemporary beginning teacher in this district, I highly recommend adopting the responsible thinking program to all schools without a formal package such as this. Relevance must be a key factor in writing the work programs for design technology. Design technology teachers have an enormous opportunity to increase student focus and reduce many behavioural issues by developing high relevant subject matter that is culture and age appropriate. What design technology teachers must have connections written into their work programs that the majority of their students quickly relate and can visualize relationships to it and the world which they live in. Understand the students' needs, their interests, passions, technologies, and platforms that they use to make every task interesting, relevant, and connected to what they already understand. By this strategy, teachers activate students' brains and harness the power of neuroplasticity, building neural pathways and increasing outcomes. Students are more likely to investigate further if the subject matter aligns with their views of their surroundings and the world and how they fit within it. Inclusively develop expectations for the class in the initial lesson, have a class discussion, and decide on 4 to 6 rules covering expected behaviour and effort levels. Give clear instructions throughout lessons in firm, calm, with positive body language. Demonstrate passion in the subject material and show your expectation of students achieving improved outcomes with strong efforts. Use a pause and scan technique for any student interruptions until silence is achieved to allow the teacher's instructions activity to proceed. Refer to asking 3 questions of responsible thinking process if the pause and scan strategy does not have its desired outcome. Use genuine praise and encourage specifically targeted at what the student is working towards achieving as cornerstones of the lesson. Do this individually and in a quiet manner so as not to draw attention unnecessarily, describing precisely what you see or hear from the individual and what you would like to see more of the same in the future. This instills confidence and not by publicly announcing the praise to the student to process the information without the mind cloud of perceived peer judgment. Successful behaviour management begins with the teacher through positive and constructive approaches to the educator's methodology and dealing with young people. Teachers can make quality impacts on the lives of their charges and assist them to make better choices through their time at school and beyond. Effectively interacting with challenging students is the #1 skill teachers must develop and continue to foster as they prepare the adults for tomorrow. Thank you.